Good morning. Good morning. Sorry about that. Had a bit of a late start this morning. I know I'm usually I am up before the alarm goes off. So silly me who did not set an alarm last night because I'll get up. Not a problem. Guess who overslept this morning? Yeah, that's me. So we're here this morning. Good morning. I know it's the whole uh, back to school season, or at least heading that way, strongly heading that way in our area. The end of this month, as a matter of fact. Um, so I thought it only appropriate that we go back to school. Okay, so what are we going to study today? Well, what we're going to do is we are going to look for resources, embroidery resources. Not all of us can race off to a trade show and take classes live and in person. And maybe we just need a quick reference. We don't need to watch a whole broadcast webinar for that one little piece of information that we need. So, where are our resources? Well, all of your vendors, all of your vendors have, okay, let me rephrase that. Most all of your vendors have a resource center area, drop down tab, frequently asked questions on their websites. Yes, yes, an excellent location to look for specific detail. For example, well, here, for example, let's go to Madeira. Madeira is one of my favorite vendors. So we are going to go to Madeira. And if you look in there, of course, it helps if I'm in the right place. If you look in their drop down menus, stabilizer, for example, they have EZ Education. EZ is their stabilizer brand. Good morning, Cindy. Good morning. So if you go to that tab, you will find resources. Here's one that I was talking to somebody about yesterday. This is a heat activated film, much like a Celebi topper, which is water soluble, but this one is heat activated, meaning you can put your heat source, your iron, your home iron, your heat press, and you can melt this topper away. So why would you use it? What would you need to use it for? We were talking about embroidery on a velvet or a velveteen type fabric. You don't want to use a water soluble on top of that. It is a nap fabric, so you don't want to crush the nap, but you want to give the thread that you're embroidering, you want to give it some good support. So you need to use a topper. Well, a water soluble topper would work, only it would mat, it would Steve Perry, Facebook user, I'm sorry, I'm a bit of loss. Steve Perry is one of the greatest singers. I'm not using Steve Perry. Okay. So, anyways, sorry, I got distracted by a comment. Um, so when you're working with velvet, you don't want to put water on it because that crushes the velvet. It takes away the thing that it makes the velvet what it is, makes it velvet. So you want to use a heat topper, a heat away topper, and that's what this product does. I think you're right, Cindy. Cindy says I might have a stalker. It's a good thing we're on the internet and they're not across the street. Okay, so going back to the list, they have information regarding just about any stabilizer you might have interest in learning about. What else have we got here? We have Coleman and Company. Coleman and Company is a machine provider. They have all types of garment decorating, and they have equipment, but they also have a page of education. And again, not just embroidery, because they work with many different types of garment decorating. But this is an awesome resource. Now, don't fret. All of these that I have here are going to be linked in my YouTube, in the comment section of my YouTube. And so you can find them easily. But the point being is that don't discount where your educational resources come from. Yes, they can come from a webinar. We all know about YouTube. YouTube is amazing. YouTube is that resource that will, you can pop up and find tutorials for just about everything. And that's wonderful. But like I said, what if you need just that one little nugget? I have one more resource I want to show you. And it's not just your vendors. Well, it's not just your supply vendors. Embroidery Library. And I know they have it. Sorry, I'm going to go over here. Embroidery Library. They have some of the most beautiful stock embroidery designs. When I was first starting, one of the things that I did was I went to them to learn different techniques, hooping, stabilizers. Let's try this. No, but they had a location on their website where you could look up, oh, there it is, helpful how-tos. And again, they talk about hooping. They talk about guides and resources, different threads, troubleshooting tips. These are all things that we all go through, but we don't all have the knowledge of how to do it. So go to your resources, go to your vendors. Don't hesitate to add them to your bookmarks so you can pop back to them as needed to find what you're looking for. So I know there's only a few of us here today, so let's do a look and find. Somebody pop off something that they're having trouble with. Send me a note in the comments, something that you're having trouble with, and let's see if we can find an online resource for it. Thank you, Cindy. Cindy's saying that she didn't know that they have that on their site, that it's very helpful. And it is, especially if you're beginning, or especially if you're looking for something very specific and you're not finding it anywhere else. Like I said, we can all go to YouTube and put in a search and something will pop up. But what if you just need that little nugget of information? Bella's here this morning. Oh, she wants to play. She brought me her squeaker. Like I said the other day, she hears me talking, so she thinks I'm talking to her because, in her world, she is the only thing in her world. So, excuse me. Let's do that. Let's do a search. How to embroider on velvet. Good morning, Letty. No. Machine Embroidery Geek came up. How to embroider on velvet. Who is Machine Embroidery Geek? Look at that. Tips and how-tos. I think I'll add them to our list. The Machine Embroidery Geek. All right. Oh, look, they are sponsored. It looks like they're sponsored by Creative Embroidery Magazine. Definitely going to add them to our list. That's a good resource. Let's see. We can find some more. What else do you want to learn? How to hoop mittens. Almost getting close to that season, aren't we? How to hoop mittens for embroidery. Oh, look, pops up with a lot of videos. And we have Sewing Machine Fun. Come on. It's a blog post. I bet she has lots of resources. One thing, excuse me, the one thing I know about stitching socks and mittens, you need to turn them inside out so that you can hoop them. And this page shows this cute little tool to hold things back. You can buy the tool. Some of us are gadget gals, gadget guys. We love our little gadgets. But you can do this without the tool. And someday, just might show you how to do that. What else have we got? Anybody have anything they want to look up? We can try to find what do we want to look for? I know we're only 15 minutes into the broadcast, people, and I don't have enough content. Isn't that terrible? You think you're all prepared, but it just goes to show how the day's going. Remember, I said I had a late start today. Oh, okay. So while we're here, while I'm stalling for time, while I'm putting my thinking cap on, does anybody have any questions? Are you looking for something specific and you can't find it? Quick topics. You're right. I should, when I have something like this, I should do multiple topics. What else? Where to find your supplies. Again, these are your same resources. Oh, wait, there it is. Thank you, Cindy. You already found my issue. I was looking for an economical price wide water soluble stabilizer. I did. Um, I used I used my resources. I Google searched and found um, wide water soluble. She's doing with freestanding lace, so she wanted the fabric like water soluble stabilizer so that it would all wash away. Um, and to do that, we did a Google search and it popped up, and sure enough, it was there. Let's see, Letty's got some stuff. Letty says she wants to figure out how to do stockings. She wants to take the Italian red leather and stitch a white rabbit cuff on top. Thank you, Cindy. I'm glad you did. I'm going to work on your project today. Wants to embroider each of the stockings, but I will need to alter the settings. Letty, are you wanting to use your embroidery machine like a sewing machine? Let's see what I've got sitting here that I can use because, I'm a visual person. What have I got here? Oh, sorry. I dropped it. Yes, I did. All right. This is the stocking. It's round. Are we talking like Letty, are you making reference to like the big red hang at the chimney stocking? Letty, we'll talk about it. I think I need to get some more details, and then we can figure this thing out. Yes. All right. And she wants to stitch. She wants to hoop those big red hang at the chimney stockings. Oh, that's a wonderful idea. She's going to make stockings for the family. They're all going to match and hang on the chimney or the mantle. Sorry, hangs on the mantle. Okay. So if they are ready made, we need to hoop them in such a way that we can stabilize. Sorry, I'm distracted again. So Letty's going to embroider her stockings before she assembles them. Okay. Well, then, if treat the fuzzy bit at the top of the stocking like an applique. Okay. You've stitched everything. You want to stitch a placement line so you can place your fuzzy topper, and then you'll do a tack down. Now, depending on how you want to do this, you can embroider a little border to hold it in place, or you could um, leave it with just the tack down, and the fuzz will cover over it. As for the leather she wants to stitch on leather. They're not ready made. I have a huge roll of Italian leather that she saved for. She will stitch the design, but I need to alter the settings since it's leather. Is that you, Frank? Good morning. If you're going to embroider on leather, you need to be careful that you don't use a design element that is fully filled, because it will actually perforate the leather in such a way that it will punch itself out. Good morning, Frank. One of the ways that you might, and you're going to want to test this before you do anything, one of the ways that you might compensate for this is by putting a fabric base underneath it. Much like a stabilizer, only it's a woven fabric, which will give the perforations something to hold on to underneath on the back side of the leather. But again, you're going to want to test this. Whatever the design element you're going to use, you're going to want to hoop it up and run a test. Again, because there's no woven element to hold the threads, it'll perforate like paper and it will punch right out. Let me know if you have any other questions about that, Letty. I know that you've got this. I know that you've probably thought about it long and hard, and you've got the details. So, but if you have any questions, we can brainstorm. We can work together and bounce ideas back and forth. They're going to be beautiful when you've got them done. I would love to see these stockings, these Christmas stockings that you're going to make. Okay, well, I know Frank, you just got here, and I'm going to tell you that my subject matter this morning, Frank, was very short. I did not have a lot of content or enough to fill up the 30 minutes, and I feel terrible about that. Next time I do something like this, I'll have some backup content. But in the meantime, I want to let you know that all of the resources that I showed you today, I will put in a link in the comments section of my YouTube. And if I'm so sorry, people. If you have any questions, again, don't hesitate to reach out. I'll be happy to help any way I can. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to leave early today. What have I got coming up? Oh, just thought maybe I would mention that, as most of you know, I went to Applique Getaway in Texas this last month, and they have a virtual Applique Getaway that I'm looking at maybe teaching a class. Something you would be interested in? I was thinking about showing hooping methods for hard to hoop items like stockings and gloves and belts and webbing. So look for that. Do you have any questions? if you have any questions, let me know. Oh, Fred, we didn't talk about leather specific, but you know what? I'll make that a point for next week. I will find some leather. I don't have any handy personally, but I will find a bit of leather and we'll talk about stitching on leather next week. All right. All right. With that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. You guys have a great weekend.
Wasn't that fun? Do you have more questions? Do you want to learn something new? Join me at quicktostitch.com for coffee and conversation, and we'll talk about it. Embroidery machines, designs, and business. Hope to see you soon. Bye now.